How to make progress, part B. Shelving and stretch web. They're actually related, but they're two different ways of practicing. So first of all, shelving is when you have high up on a shelf your tools, and you only bring the tool down that you want to use. And then when you finish using it, you put it away back up on the shelf. So when we do this, okay, with our hand, okay, we go up like that. So the only finger that is, or tool, if you like, that is playing or being used is the second finger. So all of the other fingers are up on the shelf, you see? Here's the shelf. That's how high the shelf is. Right, now I'm going to play the next finger. So therefore I'm going to bring that one down, and as I bring that one down, the one that was playing but is no longer playing, it comes up onto the shelf to join the other tools or other fingers that are on the shelf. Now same one, see what I do? Now all of the fingers apart from the first finger, which I'm now playing with, are on the shelf. Shelve that one, shelve that one, see? So you can only see one finger down, the rest are actually all on the shelf. Shelf. Now you can do that just with the right hand until you're used to that, and then you can do it with the left hand. And if you realize, because it's a slow way of practicing, it's not rhythmical. If you realize, oh, actually this isn't up on the shelf, then bring it up and then go on to the next finger. Question you ask yourself after every note is, are all of my fingers that are not being used shelved? If the answer is yes, then play the next note. If the answer is no, well, bring them all up and then play the next note. And then you carry on through the piece like that. It's a very slow way of practicing, and you might need to read the notes as you're doing it, just to remind yourself of them, unless you know them very well from memory, playing at a slow speed. Now, you can do it hands together. You just ask yourself, are they all up? Apart from the one being used? That's fine. And you'd only want to go through the whole piece once a day like that. You shouldn't really practice use this method to practice too much, like a lot of these, yeah? So we practice in different ways, and then it gradually gets to the point where we have excellent coordination in our hand. The next part, which is next part of section B, or point B, is stretch web, which is exactly the same, but it is more rhythmical. So the web is in between the fingers. You see this skin here? Yeah, you can see that skin, and you can like pinch it. You see, there's a big web here, right? And it helps us swim. But, and the same way that it helps a duck move along on the water, because it has webbed feet. Of course, with a duck, the web comes all the way up to around about here. Well, we've only got this little bit. But the way to be able to tell if you're lifting your fingers high enough to practice in this way is if you feel, right, not like this, but like this. Let me see if I can, yeah. If you feel like you are stretching the web by doing this, still don't do that. Don't have your fingers like, but have them slightly curved. Again, the natural curve of the hand, stretching that. If you feel a stretch of the web, yeah, and then see, I'm stretching the web in between each finger as I lift it up. See, I'm stretching this web here. Otherwise, it's like this. You see, there it is. Now I stretch it, and then I stretch it that way. When I need to use my fourth finger, I stretch the web between the fourth and the fifth finger. And when I use the fifth finger, still stretching the web between the fourth and the fifth finger, but the stretch is from the other finger, you see? Right. Still trying to keep the natural curve of the hand. And you can play hands together, not worrying about one hand, but focusing on the other hand. And then once you've done that, play the whole thing again, but just focusing on the hand that you didn't stretch web on before. And you can do that with shelving as well if it's easier to play, to remember the notes. So like this. So I'm just focusing on my right hand. See, my fingers are stretching, but I'm not doing like shelving and then lifting, are they all up, and then next note. It's actually, because if you've practiced shelving, then stretching the web will be a lot easier to do rhythmically. And it won't be, you don't have to lift all of the fingers up, really. You just have to make sure that the finger that is playing is stretching the web with the finger next to it, that's all. And you can use that in any piece. As you can with a lot of these practice methods.